going. Music too loud. Oh, got turned down the music. Okay. Hello. Wow, look at the glare on that. You can't even tell what it is. Changing places. There we go. There we go. Now you can see. Alright, hold on. Let's say hello to everyone real quick. Mansum first. Hello. Hello, welcome. Mao, hello. Tristan, welcome. Ferocious. Hello, Megalum. Matilda, hello. How's it going? Pet gun. Pet Taurus. We can pet the Taurus. A lot of fishy guns. Fishy guns. Well, none of these guns are fishy. We don't have any fish guns out here. Alright, chat. So. Oh. Manson. New Madsen M50. Nice. Jerez, hello, welcome. Alright, chat. The gun gotcha. Gun gotcha upon redeem. Got a little update. It got a little update. Why? Sex count? No sex count. Wrong. So the gun gachapon got a bit of an update. There now is, in your gun gacha redeem, there's now a condition, basically. So there now, along with the gun, are 10 different... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, there are now, along with the gun that you get, there are 10 different, basically, conditions that you can get the gun in. So let's see, what have people gotten so far? So Mao got a surplus FN 509. Tristan got a used Sei Rigodi. Matilda, new Browning Synergy. New used. Yeah, there's 10 of them. 10 of them. Some of the options are weighted differently. So you're much more likely to get a new or a used condition on your gun gacha. And there's also surplus. That one's been rolled. I guess you just gotta figure out the rest of them. Segs? No segs. No segs. Yeah, so the gun gachapon redeem, it's been updated. I also added a lot of different guns to the gacha. I realized some of the guns I added, Heiser, I didn't have any Heisers in the gun gachapon. What was I even doing? It's crazy. Was barrel length of the carbine? This is 16 and a quarter. It's okay. It's fed safe. I do eventually need to SBR it, but that is a problem for later. Dog safe for now. It is. It is dog safe for now. So currently in the gun gachapon, there are 223,020 unique responses that you could possibly get from the gacha redeem. The longest barrel is under the table. Under the table? My longest barrel's... I don't know. It's probably my over-under. Intentionally ignores innuendo. I think my over-under has a 30-inch barrel. It's 30 or 32. I don't remember. I'd have to go measure it. And I'm lazy. Chat being bonkable. Chat is being bonkable. And so, gun gacha redeem is being expanded. Always expanded. You have any flintlocks or muzzle loaders in the list? Yes. Yes, there are. I did think about, should I chat? Should I increase how many gun gacha pulls you can do per stream, chat? Do I dare do that? Do I let people have more than one gacha pull per stream? All right, chat. The number of gacha pulls you can do per stream has been increased to 2. And there's a 1 hour cooldown time in between pulls. There you go. No? What do you mean no? I am gracious enough to bestow upon you 2 gun gacha pulls. And you're gonna complain? You have to wait an hour. You'd have to wait an hour. I gotta keep retention somehow. But you now can do 2 gacha pulls. Tristan, hello, in both Kick and Twitch. I do need Kick. Why can't your channel points work? Release your API so that I can have Kick gacha pulls so that people can also go to Kick and do gacha pulls. Tristan, you were just looking at that. I also looked at it because there are in Kick, there are channel points. You just can't do anything with them because Kick is like half of a live streaming website. It's okay. I'm jumping on the train early just in case they actually pull through and start doing stuff. Two gotcha pulls for primary and secondary. Exactly. It's always faster to switch to your secondary than it is to reload. I think the actual thing is it's always faster to switch to your pistol, but I don't know, you could get a rifle and a pistol, or a shotgun and a pistol, or an LMG and a pistol. One day, a Kick will also have working channel points. Mao, give you Mark 19 and a Diska. You're gonna have to really hit the jackpot to get exactly both of those. Kick does, yeah. Kick does have channel points. Kick does have channel points. Hold on. Can I pull it up? Is there any, does Kick TOS have any problem with me like showing their back end stuff? I don't care. What are they gonna do about it? What are they gonna do about it? Let's see. Oh no, I can hear myself. So here. On Kick. On Kick. Am I on Kick? I am on Kick. So here's me on Kick. And on Kick, they have down here, this is channel points. They have channel points in here. Except the problem is that like there's nothing to do with them. So like I can on Kick, I can make manual channel point redeems. So I could create manual channel points, manual channel point redeems. But the gun gachapon isn't a manual thing. That is done through a separate thing. But Kick hasn't made their API public, and so I can't connect it. I can't connect the two. Tristan, from when I look, it just says they're temporarily paused. So that's probably because I don't have any setup at all. I mean, I suppose I could like set up some of the manual ones that I have on Twitch. But the automatic ones are the cool ones, like the gun gachapon. Reverse engineer Kick's API, but I still need to connect to Kick. If I'm gonna reverse engineer Kick's API, I'd just be starting my own streaming platform. And I am not going to do that because that sounds awful. Yeah, currently on Kick, there are emotes. You got all the emotes to use on Kick. And you now have a single channel point reward. Hopefully, eventually, Kick will release API, and then I can also run a Kick chatbot. That'd be nice. There's also now subscriber badges that I just now uploaded. There's now subscriber badges on Twitch. Kick. There you go. Kick says, do not redeem. Do not redeem. No redeems allowed. Yeah, so things for stream are progressing slowly. I do need to start reaching out to people for the gun trivia game show thing, to start trying to put together a schedule for that. Try and make everyone show up at the same time. That's going to be probably basically a miracle. Getting VTubers to all show up somewhere at the same time. That'll be, well. What all can you say about your plans for that? Is it a secret? The game show thing? It's a game show. And it's all very, very top secret. It's very top secret. Because definitely not because I just don't have anything super concrete planned. It's because it's top secret for sure. Everything's perfectly planned, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I have a few game show ideas. It depends on how many people I can get to show up at the same time. I do in fact have. Where is it? Where are my bookmarks? I have one game show pretty much all all boarded out. I just need people to show up for it now. Yes, many. What do I say? What can I say about gun game shows without like spoiling too much? I can't like ask the questions. It'll be good. I do have to figure out if I'm going to like give the winner some kind of prize. We'll see about that. We'll see. We'll see about giving game show winners prizes of some variety somehow. Is it going to be a Jeopardy format? So the first one probably will be Jeopardy kind of format, just because honestly, it's the easiest. there's already quite a few different apps set up. You can just click and go with them. So a Jeopardy format one's probably the easiest. But I would like to do kind of like Family Feud format ones as well. I think that'd be super cool. Yeah, like two teams fight against each other against community provided answers. And that one would take quite a bit more work on the back end though. It sounds fun. Yeah, that one also would be uh pretty community interaction heavy, since I would need people to fill out surveys for the questions. So that one probably would have to be at least a little bit down the road, because I am not confident that there would be enough responses on a forum to actually get the Family Feud style answers without being just like heavily rigged. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll probably start with like the Jeopardy format one. See what the response is to that, and then go from there. There are, after all, many different kinds of game shows. A, a Price is Right one would probably go pretty hard too. Price is Right gun game show. That one would probably also be very interesting to do for people who don't know a lot about guns. Oh my goodness, there's some rice out there. I need to move, Jet. I don't know. I have many ideas. I just have to actually not be lazy and actually make them happen. We'll see though. We'll see. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm closer than ever. Really, I just have to reach out to people and say, "Hey, does this day work for you? And this time?" There you go. And then make a stream scene for it. Rule 63 again. Is that on cooldown? Rule 63 it again. There was a video that I was planning on watching on stream, but then I realized it was a 43-minute video. And I don't know, well, I don't know if you guys have the attention span for that. I don't have the attention span for that on stream. So instead, chat, how about a 7-minute video about a bad gun? Because I introduced to this legend, Gunbelievable, who does these great videos on wonderful guns. Why is the armory empty? Did you get robbed? Is the armory empty? It shouldn't be. The armory looks like it's working fine. Don't you gaslight me like this. Don't you gaslight me like this. On cooldown. It should be, oh. It should be a by user cooldown, not a, hold on. Not an overall cooldown. It should be, oh no, I can hear myself. It should be a, hold on. I don't know how to do it by user cooldown. There's probably a way somehow. Well, chat, I don't know how to do a by user cooldown. It doesn't exist. All right, chat, you get your 2 gun gacha pulls right away. You get them back to back. You can use them right away if you want to. Oh, there everyone goes. There everyone goes. What's a surplus there right in a row? Surplus MDR. Who fielded it? Probably Ukraine. Probably Ukraine. Mao FN 509 Tactical and Benelli M1014. Mao got like a COD loadout right there. Mao got a legitimate loadout. He's ready to clear houses with that thing. Derez Battlefield pickup Taurus curve. I don't want to ask how that happened. Chat, would you buy a Battlefield pickup Taurus curve? That'd be great. What a story. Chicago special. It must have been Ukraine. Probably Ukraine. Imagine being that poor Ukrainian soldier who's given a Taurus curve. But, well, I mean, the war in Ukraine, pretty bad. The war in Ukraine's pretty bad. But now pretty much everything can be like surplus or battlefield pickup. So it you know, there's a silver lining to every dark cloud. The silver lining's really small and the cloud's pretty dark, but but hey, battlefield pickup Taurus curves. Where's your battlefield pickup AN94? I don't know. You gotta. It's gotta roll good for it. All right, I added a new gun condition to the gun gachapon because I just thought of a really funny one. If you can read typing fingers, you can probably figure out what it was. I could do my second gun gachapon. A new fad. Nice. It's probably like the only one ever. Man, everyone's getting pretty good pulls from the gacha today. Isn't there some BS import rule preventing arms imports from countries recently involved in conflict? Probably. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know import laws too well in terms of ones that don't directly affect me. Torch cut parts kit for a Cabot. That's one of the, yeah, that's a good one right there. There you go, torch cut parts kit for like limited production $50,000 1911. As it deserves. I think the Cabot Dante Inferno. I mean, it's definitely one of the pretentious ones. Definitely one of the pretentious ones, but I think it's one of the ones that actually is like legitimately a piece of art that is cringe. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like, this is the Dante's Inferno is one of the ones that is legitimately like a piece of art. They still put this stupid cheesy trigger in all of them though. But look at that. Look at that engraving. Too bad it was torch cut. Too bad it was torch cut. Rest in peace. Can you get a new car selling it off? You might be able to get a used car since it was torch cut. And my problem with Cabot is that they're ridiculous. Like there is actually like some limited like artistic value to some of them, where they hire some like master engraver to engrave their stuff with legitimate like works of art. But then they stamp Cabot real big on the side and put that stupid cheesy star trigger in there, and it looks awful. I'm sure they can write some otherworldly blurb describing how it was handcrafted and hand cut to perfection. And nothing says cut to perfection like a torch cut. A little bit of slag on there. Definition of perfection. Ooh, actually, we need to do a parts kits cleaning stream at some point. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we can do parts kits cleaning stream. Obviously, Jelly, you will never experience perfection. Yep. Yeah, I will never experience the perfected Cabot torch cut. Cut to perfection like a botched foreskin removal. And you know, a little buildup of scar tissue just really adds to the experience, I'm sure. Torch cut is only a requirement for imports, not for receiver destruction in general. This is true. This is true. As to what experience? I'll let you figure that one out. I'll tell you when you're older. But anyway, the Remington chat, the Remington.
Today on Gunbelievable, we're taking a look at the Remington R51. This gun is cool, and it should have succeeded. Look at it, it's elegant, and it has something we never see in pistols today, mechanical novelty. Whereas nearly every other handgun uses a mechanism invented a century ago, the
Hate on serial numbers? Good idea.
The R51 uses a mechanism that was also invented a century ago, but a different one that we haven't seen in the meantime. Aimed at the concealed carry market, it's slim, snagless, and smaller in all directions than a Glock 19, yet it fills the hand reasonably well. Sure, its capacity is only 7+1, and it has no optics mounting options, but...
It's only 7+1? It's worse than I thought it was. It's awful.
It was introduced in 2014, back when optics were rare and double-stack ultra-compacts hadn't been invented. In that narrow window of time, it should have been a connoisseur's choice for a carry gun, and it should have given Remington a desperately needed foothold in the handgun market. But it wasn't and didn't, and shortly after Remington filed for bankruptcy.
This pistol arguably caused Remington's bankruptcy.
Why can't we have nice things? Let's find out. Picking up the R51 feels pretty good. It strikes the right balance of being slim and smooth for concealment while being grippable and comfortable for shooting. Its aluminum frame gives it some weight, coming in just over 26 ounces fully loaded. The only weak spot is the backstrap grip safety, which can feel a little strange, almost like it's about to pinch my skin. It hasn't yet, but we'll come back to that. The pressure required to
Hasn't
activate it is a
yet.
little more than I'd like, but I find that when I'm actually shooting, I naturally grip it hard enough. The mag release is flush to avoid unintentional
I usually don't
activation,
mind
yet the
backstrap
checkering makes it
safeties.
easy to find. It's somewhat on the stiff side, but that's okay. It's also ambi, nice bonus, and the mags pop out with authority. The slide stop works really well. It's easily manipulable one-handed. There's a witness hole at the top to check if the chamber's loaded, but unfortunately it's small and hard to see into. Manipulating the slide, you can feel that it's really uneven. It's kind of herky-jerky. You feel each stage of the mechanism inside moving. More on that later. But otherwise, no complaints about build quality. The trigger has a reasonable amount of take-up, followed
That
by
does
a
not
wall
look
that breaks
smooth at all.
cleanly at 5 pounds. The reset's medium length, and it takes you right to the wall, but it's barely tactile and hardly
I hate
audible.
the laser
I
on
wouldn't say
it.
it's my favorite trigger ever, but it's better than
This laser is gross. Take that off. It's ruining any lines that this gun would have.
many pistols on store shelves. This one came from the factory with a Crimson Trace laser installed, and while I don't recommend lasers on guns, I do really like how well they integrated the laser with the rest of the gun's styling. The button's comfy and impossible to miss, though I wish there was an easy way to disable it so that I'm not burning batteries while I'm dry firing. The sights are a basic 3-dot arrangement, all white, looks like a Novak cut, which means you might have options for swapping them out. You get 2 mags, which hold 7 rounds each. Surprisingly, extras are still available on the market for reasonable prices. I picked up some from Cabela's just last year. Now, the coolest thing about this pistol is its mechanics.
Last year, 7. What, huh? Why does Cabela's still have Remington R51 magazines? A year ago. What on earth are they smoking? Clearance stock on shelf? For 10 years? 10 years, chat?
Mechanical system, which it inherits from its ancestor, the Remington Model 51. That one ended production in 1926. Let me take a minute to explain what makes it so different. When you fire any gun, the empty cartridge case has to be delayed from backing out of the chamber until
No! He pulled out the yeet cannon.
after gas pressure has dissipated. Otherwise, some of the gas pushing the bullet down the barrel will come out the back and into the action, causing malfunctions,
Oh.
damage, even injuring the
Oh, not the Walther. Walther fans in shambles.
shooter. 2 common ways of doing this in pistols. I'll use this rod to simulate the empty case being pushed back by gas pressure. In the first way, called blowback, the case starts backing out immediately, but the slide is heavy and the spring is stiff, which slows things down.
I need one of these. This would be so useful for me on stream, chat. Something to show the action actually moving. I need to 3D print one of those instantly.
The system is simple, and the barrel doesn't move, which helps with accuracy, but it makes the gun heavy and bulky and more difficult to manipulate. You can really feel all that mass ka-chunking around when you shoot. The other way is called recoil operation. The slide starts moving, but the empty case isn't backing out of the chamber at all because the slide and the barrel are locked together.
Oh man, he's really dedicated to taping off the serial numbers. Got the slide serial number and the barrel serial number. I'll tape a serial number if there's just like one, but if there's more than 2 serial numbers, I'm just like, it's not worth it.
Together. After just this much travel, the slide and the barrel separate, and it's only then that the case can start backing out. It's not much of a delay, but a little goes a long way. This system is more complicated, but the guns are lighter and slimmer and more pleasant to use. You can think of the R51's hesitation lock as somewhere in between. The case starts backing out of the chamber immediately, like a blowback, but only for a millimeter. The breech block is a separate piece from the slide. It's the red one in this diagram, and it gets frozen into place at this point, which stops the case from backing out any further. The slide keeps moving until it reaches a point right about here. You can see that the barrel is the piece with the text written on it, and just behind that, there's a slightly visible piece that's silver. That's the breech block. This is when the slide grabs onto the breech block and they resume traveling together, at which point the case can continue exiting from the chamber. In theory, this system gives you the best of both worlds. You get the accuracy benefits of a stationary barrel, and the spring can go around the barrel instead of underneath it, which lowers the bore axis. But like a recoil-operated gun, it can be light and slim and pleasant to shoot with a spring that's not so stiff. In practice, the R51 shoots fine. I wouldn't say it's snappy, but it's not smooth either. The weight of the all-metal frame is somewhat offset by its small size and slim grip. I don't notice anything different about the recoil impulse compared to recoil-operated guns. Mine has run perfectly reliably with all kinds of ammo, brass, steel, aluminum, even some hollow points. Now, I have to mention that the first R51s had a horrendous reputation. Essentially, none of them worked right. They were recalled, and it took Remington 2 years to start shipping Gen 2s like this gun. Even these have a strong reputation for flakiness. Do not snag one of these and bet your life on it, but mine has run well so far.
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I have almost bought one of these a few times. Obviously, I have not, but theoretically, I could have one of these.
That doesn't mean I like it, though. After a mag or two, I feel like I've developed a paper cut in the web of my hand, and after 4 or 5 mags, I'm pretty much sick of it. There's something in the grip safety that feels not like pinching, but like it's cutting me. It's happening up here at the top of the grip safety, and it happens no—
Why is his hand all red? It's awful. You gotta wear gloves. Gotta wear gloves for that.
no matter how tightly or loosely I grip. I might need to start shooting it with gloves on. Also, I quickly learned to reload it with the slide locked back because this thing does not want to let you rack the slide on a full magazine. Let me show you what I mean.
Why?
Jeez. Yeah. However, the real pain doesn't—
Oh, it might have something that like something on the front of the like I guess the breech face that like catches on the rim of the case. Maybe. It's a feature. I don't think that's a feature.
Doesn't begin until it's time to take it apart because this gun disassembles unlike any other pistol. You have to hold the barrel back against spring pressure by pinching it while you slide it off the frame. If you want the details, you can find plenty of other videos on how to do it, but I'm just going to roll the footage of my doing it in the background and bleep out the curses. As you hold the barrel with these tiny—
Wait, hold on. Why is that different than everything else?
You have to hold the barrel back against spring pressure by—
Okay, so hold the slide back. Pull out your little thingy. Pull out your little guy.
by pinching it while you slide it off the frame. If you want the details, you can find plenty—
Oh, and then you have to— Oh. Why? Why do you have to— Okay. Okay, I missed you have to hold on to the barrel. That's not ideal.
Plenty of other videos on how to do it, but I'm just going to roll the footage of my doing it in the background and bleep out the curses. As you hold the barrel with these tiny little serrations, you can feel yourself fighting a losing battle. Your fingers are probably going to get sucked into the gap between the barrel and the slide, and that hurts. Putting the thing back together is even worse. The manual says to wear eye protection while you do this, and there's a reason. This spring cup thing can slip off its notch and go flying. Sometimes the barrel doesn't want to line up with the hole in the front of the slide, and you end up trying and trying again and mangling your thumbs in the process. I've done it several times now. I still find it physically damaging and obnoxious every time. Just when you think you're done, you can mess up at the last minute. The slide stop has a tab that interfaces with this spring, and if you insert it such that the tab is above the spring rather than below, the gun becomes single shot. It'll lock open every time.
Nice.
It's easier to put it in the right way than the wrong way, but it's not guaranteed if you're not paying attention. Adding insult to injury, once you've made that error once, the spring seems to deform a little bit, and it becomes a lot more likely it'll happen again next time, even if you're trying to get it right. As I said at the top, this should have been a connoisseur's carry piece in the mid-2010s, but the American gun buyer has zero tolerance for reliability problems, and Remington's inability to get this right, even after a 2-year-long recall period, sank the gun forever. Even if they had worked out the kinks, the cost-to-benefit ratio here was just too high. The pros of the hesitation lock are cool on paper, but in this implementation, they're negligible. It doesn't really—
It seems like, I guess he did say he had the second generation of it. So maybe they fixed the out of battery detonation stuff after the first generation. Because I remember that was a big no-no for this gun.
shoot better. The bore axis isn't really lower, it isn't meaningfully more accurate, but disassembly and reassembly are made immeasurably worse. Had this gun worked on day one, perhaps we'd see the hesitation lock explored further. Maybe somebody would have figured out how to make something truly great out of it. Instead, our one rare chance for mechanical innovation slipped through Remington's fingers, and we're cursed to live in a world where slapping bright colors on your sightless $600 pocket pistols is enough to justify a booth at SHOT Show. That's it from Gunbelievable on the R51 from Remington. Smash that like button, be sure to subscribe. If I get 1 million subs, I'll buy a Remington shotgun from 2007.
What? Why? Does this guy just promise, like at the end of every video, I'm gonna buy a perfectly average, a normal gun at 1 million subscribers? Does he do that at every video? If so, he's gonna have to buy a lot of guns when he hits 1 million subscribers. The Thunderstruck 22 mag revolver, the STD revolver. Those things are bad. Tristan, every time I see things like this, I feel like the series of events that led to production could be turned into a comedy movie. Yeah. Yeah. He's clearly saving for that 1 mil. Pentagon Wars, but it's Remington. Yeah, that gun put Remington in bankruptcy. That gun killed Remington, which is why I want it, honestly. I want the gun that killed Remington. I mean, arguably, it also was all the frivolous lawsuits that Remington had to pay. But I'm sure it was the bad gun, because that makes a more entertaining story. Oh, I finally today, finally. I finished the unsub podcast episode with Tectone. It was good. It was hilarious. I need to watch Tectone more, honestly. Hilarious guy. Unsub crew. Yeah, they. I can see why they are all so popular. uh, so popular as creators. They're all just so like. They're also charismatic and amiable. Like, how do I achieve their level of fantasticness? I may never know. Yeah, I'll be honest. The reason that I remembered that. Oh, MXer pulled one of the new guns. One of the new guns in the gun gachapon. Used Heiser PKO 45. You want something different? Lucky for you, you can now do 2 gun gachas per day. Or I guess per stream. Oh well. the gun gachapon does not like MXer. You know, it could be worse, probably. the torch cut parts kit condition for the guns is so funny to me. That's the best. That's the best. I'm so smart. I'm so funny, chat. That's also multiple people have gotten that today. And the actual well, hold on, I can figure it out. What's the percent chance? What's the percent chance of getting a torch cut parts kit? You have a 1.9% chance of getting a torch cut parts kit gun from the Gun Gachapon chat. Torch parts gang. Yep. Two people today have pulled the 1.9% ultra rare torch cut parts kit gun. What about adding gun shaped stick and slingshot and stuff like that? There are definitely joke pulls. There are definitely joke gun pulls in there. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. There's funny things you can pull from there. Honestly, like with how absurdly vast the pool of guns to pull from is, I probably should add more, honestly. So far, with the new double gun gachapon redeem updated, MXer has the worst two pulls of the day by far. All right. But this is what reminded me. This is what reminded me of the unsub podcast with Tectone. So we're gonna watch it because I don't know what else to do. So we're gonna react to anti-drama, I assume. You've heard of drama, VTubers. I'm an anti-drama. Only people who love each other. I'm only gonna listen to people who love each other talk about each other. Worse than your bricked. Yeah, so I mean, your torch cut $50,000 gun. It's still a Cabot. I mean, you could sell the slide for like $10,000 probably. Theoretically, of course.
I am going to go ahead and do this. This was something that I really want to be documented and something that I really want people to go see. In case you guys don't know, I did go out to San Antonio to record the Unsubscribed podcast.
Chat, if you haven't, in the Unsub podcast episode with Tectone, it was wonderful. It was a work of art. Also, what on earth is going on with his overlays here? What is this? Oh, is one side Twitch and one side YouTube? No. Both sides Twitch? I don't know what's going on here. What is this overlay? I thought it was one side Twitch, one side YouTube. But then, oh no, it's just doubled. Like doubled and delayed a little bit. Because both sides have Twitch Prime and Twitch icons on them. I don't know what's happening. He's also on Kick. I should follow him on Kick. No, you can't slap another slide on a Cabot. It has to be hand fit by experts. You know what other guns are also hand fitted? Rock Island. Rock Island 1911s are hand fitted. So it'd be fine.
Where I met Brandon, Donut, and Eli. That episode will be coming out this Saturday on the Unsubscribed Podcast channel. And for anybody who's from that podcast, for anybody who knows about that podcast, I did just want to talk about my feelings about meeting these creators and doing this podcast.
Oh no, talking
now,
about feelings,
you guys know,
it's over.
I have always been very transparent about everything I do in my life. I try to keep my relationship separate, I do, because it's nobody's business, right? But for people who I meet, for experiences that I have, I like to document.
That seems like a very healthy mindset. Very healthy way of doing things. Relationships separate, transparent about everything else. As a creator, it seems very good.
Them and just let you guys know how things are. And I'm going to speak to you guys with 100% sincerity. People who have been a part of my channel for a long time know I don't blow smoke up anybody's ass whatsoever unless it's deserved. And yeah, it was about an hour and 50-minute drive from Austin to San Antonio. And immediately, the guys, they take me out to lunch. Beautiful place. I got some chicken shawarma. It was next to a waterfall, and I could...
San Antonio is... It's a cool city, like San Antonio and the area around it. It's got some scenic areas. It's nice. It's nice.
Hear the train tracks from Six Flags from the table we were sitting at, which added a lot of ambiance, and it was really nice. But as I was going down to sit at the table, I was obviously looking for Donut because, you know, obviously everybody looks very different between how they appear online and how they look in the videos. And I shit you not, and I mean, I'm not gay. I want to make this very clear. I'm not bisexual. I'm gay.
What? Pause? I'm not bisexual. I'm gay. What? Hold? Did I hear that correctly?
Gay. I'm not into dudes. I'm legit. I am straight gay. I'm not into dudes. I shit you not. And I mean, I'm not gay. I want to make this very clear. I'm not bisexual. I'm gay.
Oh, it was okay. Never mind. It was a video cut. It's a video cut. I missed the video cut, chat. Conan 8K. I missed the video cut.
I'm not into dudes. I'm legit. I am straight as fuck. But
good editing.
Donut Operator, and I go in length about this in the podcast. Seeing Donut Operator for the first time
he had a
in real life.
He had a real bro moment with Donut.
This guy was one of the, if not the sexiest human being I have ever seen in my life. Ever. Genuinely. I have never seen anybody hotter.
Look at all the gauge
in my
emotes.
Entire life. It was insane. And I was like taken aback because I was like, this dude looks so good. I was like, is this actually Donut? So I don't know what's going on with the camera because Donut already looks good online. But in real life, god damn. Anyways, just wanted to glaze bro for a little bit. Just wanted to glaze bro for a little bit. Meet with Donut.
Yeah, he definitely glazed bro for sure.
Conversation flowed naturally, like I knew this guy my entire life. Excellent conversationalist. Great handshake. I want to say firm fucking handshake. It was excellent. He got me a Diet
Chat,
Coke.
you got to have a firm handshake.
He was very courteous to me. And,
work on your forearms
yeah,
so you can have an impressive handshake.
I was 10 minutes late. Donut was right on time. Brandon showed up late, 25 minutes. Gorgeous hair. Gorgeous hair. They are all much shorter than I originally thought. I'm not going to lie. I made them look like little kids. I think they're like 5'10", 5'11". I'm 6'6", nearly 6'7".
Oh,
but they're jacked.
He's 6'6", 6'7". That's tall. He's a big dude. I didn't know he was that tall. I thought I mean, I knew he was tall. So I've heard he talked about being tall in the podcast. I don't know if he was 6'6" or 6'7". I thought he was like 6'2" or 6'3".
Like, they're huge. Like, they're packing on the fucking meat. It was insane. Brandon, great conversationalist as well. I also noticed that Donut had a Spike tattoo from Cowboy Bebop, which was dope. Then their manager shows up, sweet as a button, and then Eli shows up 45 minutes late. And the reason why I was counting the time was because I was so fucking excited to meet this guy. Because I was going through some of their videos. Because I'm not a long time unsubscribed podcast fan. I have a lot of respect for Donut.
I love seeing a big content creator like out here fangirling for other big content creators. That's wonderful. That makes me smile. I don't know why. It's fun. It's funny. I like it.
Operator, I've seen a lot of his videos. Very kind. But Eli, I was doing some research, trying to make sure that I make this podcast flow as I often do with the podcast.
Oh my goodness. I just noticed. He's got so many waifu cups. He's got 6 waifu cups on his desk. 7. He's got 7 waifu cups on his desk. There's 5 over here and 2 over here. There could be more. I can only see 7. That's so many. And they're all on his desk. Why so many? It's a good question. Great question.
To do Steak and Eggs, as well as Noodle Shop, as well as currently the Gotcha Cast, as well as any other time I decide to talk to creators. I do a lot of podcasts. And I was making sure, I'm like, okay, name, flow, mannerisms, energy. What do I need to match to make this not awkward? Because, like, obviously, I've had some very poor podcast experiences with this guy called XGO Solo. We don't need to fucking talk about it. Bro did not know how to match the vibes, and God, it was like it was a vibe rapist. It was fucking terrible. So, got that shit
Rest
out of the
in
fucking
peace.
way.
Not being able to vibe match.
Good. Meeting Eli was like I met my best friend that we've never spoken to. Like a person who I've meant to meet my entire fucking life.
Soulmates.
This guy was the man. I want to make this very clear.
No way. No way. This guy, Tectone. No way, Tectone. Like, no homo. Donut operator. The most gorgeous man I've ever met. And then here he's talking about how he just met his soulmate, Eli. No homo, though. No homo.
They were all awesome. But Eli, goddamn. Bro's a weeb. Had a full-on Berserk tattoo, which I didn't know, a full sleeve. I saw like one tattoo. I didn't know he had a full fucking sleeve of like guts and the Berserk armor and the brand of sacrifice carved into his fucking arm, which obviously I had the same thing. So it felt like meeting my brother for the first fucking time. And Brandon shows me a Cybertruck. It was fucking cool as shit. They take me to their fucking underground bunker where they record all of their fucking shit. It was insane. I meet their editor, Finn, who was just like the man.
Underground bunker? I thought they just recorded it in like random suburbia house. Right? Is underground bunker? I thought the podcast was filmed in just a house.
He was like, he set everything up, and then Eli set everything up, and then bro just dipped to his laptop to play Helldivers. And I'm like, oh God, this guy's so cool. Like, this guy is just so fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. Also, side note, thank you for the 50 gifted. Holy shit, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bro was just grinding Helldivers. It was awesome. And
chat subs are like 30% off this week or something. I don't know. I got a notification about it.
And I had a beer for the first time in about a year and a half. I'm straight edge. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. But it's not out of like religion. It's just a choice. I can still drink whenever I want to. I just usually just choose not to. I had about half a can. Yo, Kate, thank you so much for the raid. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. But yeah, I had a half a can of White Claw. It tasted like shit. I'm not gonna lie. It was warm. It tasted like shit. I was pretty much just drinking beer for the vibes. You know what I mean? I don't want to throw off the fucking vibes. But yeah,
That's
we
reasonable.
talk, and oh my God, the very first thing I realized is how at peace I feel in this group, how at peace I feel with these people. And do you want to know why that is? Do you want to know why?
Tell me why that is. Tell me why that is,
It's
Tectone.
because, I'll check editor chat in a second. It's because I've been living in Austin, Texas for so long, where so many of these fucking retards.
It's true. It's true. Austin, Texas is like California bubble of Texas. Gross there. Him talking crap about White Claw was funny. Those things are awful. I have never had a White Claw. I've had like what do they call, like the truly like hard lemonade, like 1% alcohol. Those are okay.
Are like so progressive, so far left that like you can't even say anything. You can't even make jokes because you're like, oh, dude, what if one of them gets upset? What if they get upset about me saying retard? Got to make sure I say dumb. Oh, I can't call something gay. What if they get upset? Oh, dude, I can't say that I don't think we should inject hormones into our children. What if they think I'm transphobic? It's getting so bad in Austin, Texas. It just is. Everybody gets so offended by everything.
Yeah.
And it's insane. It is. But
And I usually like try to avoid saying things that unnecessarily would offend people. Like, yeah, could I call things retarded? Yeah, for sure. And maybe I should start calling things retarded because people like when people use the word retarded. But I don't know. Like, I don't care if other people say it. It's not going to offend me. Like, I am a self-declared retard. But I don't know. Is this? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to like chase someone off who like the first thing they hear me say is calling something retarded. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably me being overly cautious. I probably should get over it, honestly.
in this group with these people, I was able to speak my mind, and I did.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yes,
talked
he
about
did.
everything, boys. I talked about everything. I talked about everybody. No punches were pulled a single fucking time. You were about to see 3.5 hours, whatever that's edited down into pure.
It was 3.5 hours. The unedited version was 3.5 hours. How long was the edited down version? Hang on. It's in my history. I was gonna go try to search for it. Where is it?
Yeah, I think it would be a
Oh, it was over 2 hours. Oh, here I was thinking it was like an hour and like 20 minutes or something. It was 2 hours and 8 minutes. Okay, so they cut out like an hour and a half. They cut out like an hour and a half of it in editing.
Incendiary, fucking spiked tongue, spitting molten lava for the entire duration of that podcast. It was insane. The Patreon episode is me just talking about anime. I bit my tongue as much as I could talking about anime. We talk about very serious issues. You will probably hear me say a word that I don't say on stream because I can get banned. You will probably hear me say that word at least once. So, but it is what it is.
What?
You'll probably hear
What word? Fat? He got banned for calling someone fat once.
me talk in a way that you're not used to hear me talking. But yeah, like
He was talking about you, Poe.
We really went all out, and we had a beautiful time. And it was great. And I felt like I was speaking to friends. And
Yeah,
as a
I could
guy,
use some words that
where
probably get me
even
banned about
I
you, Pope.
still felt uncomfortable on some of the podcasts that I run with the people that I know.
A
I
pedal
would like
file?
to just go
A pedal, like brake pedals? You get a file full of brake pedals? A pedal file? Yeah, yeah, that's that's my thoughts on you, Pope.
on record and say, I don't give a fuck how you feel about Donut or Brandon or Eli. Those were some of the best people I've ever met in my entire life. Great souls, great people, above all the bullshit, above all the noise, and it just made me not feel fucking crazy. Yeah. And here's the thing. And this part meant so much to me. Podcast is over. Usually after podcast I do.
Grok Twitter AI? Is his bot? He just called his bot Grok Twitter AI. That's hilarious. There's no way it's actually like Grok integrated Twitch bot. Funny bot name.
We all go our separate ways, right? They also gave me a great merch idea, which I'm going to be making merch soon. Basically, the idea they gave me that I should have been made forever ago. We finished all the podcast. Eli, this guy who I had an amazing conversation with, immediately asked me for my phone number. And so I give it to him immediately. And I was overjoyed. That he asked me for my phone number. I leave. Within 5 minutes of me leaving, Cody and Eli had both texted me telling me how wonderful it was meeting me.
That's fantastic.
Within 30 minutes, Donut, it's not a racial slur. Jesus, I say the F slur, guys, the word for gay people. Yeah. So within 30 minutes, Donut sends me a photo of him chilling with his dogs out on his couch watching Vinland Saga.
Nice.
Yep. Because he said, damn, man, you were really gassing this show up. I'm going to start watching this shit right now. Absolutely. It was amazing. And Eli and myself pretty much talked consistently for yesterday and the day before that. And he started Freerun because I recommended him Freerun.
Oh, Freerun is so good. I need to rewatch it. I need to rewatch Freerun as soon as I finish the show I'm currently on.
And I started Hajime no Ippo because Eli recommended me Hajime no Ippo. And my God,
I've never heard of that one.
I mean this when I say, what a great group of people. What an amazing time that was. And it just makes me so optimistic for the future when there's people as good as that out there in this world. I can't
so
tell
beautiful.
you
What a
how
great
many
guy.
times people warned me to not talk to these people, how many people warned me that they did this, they did that, they did this. I don't care. They were great people. I'm not going to let anybody make me feel some type of way about some bullshit. It was great. I loved it. And I appreciate those guys so much. And I want that to be known publicly. This is probably a YouTube video. I would appreciate if you guys would like,
Yeah.
comment, subscribe.
This is probably a YouTube video as I'm watching the YouTube video. Correct.
Over to their respective channels, which hopefully my editor will link in the description. They all make great content. Their podcast is fucking
Oh, it's
amazing.
a boxing anime?
And you know what they do?
I don't really
They
watch
talk about
sports
serious
animes.
issues that matter. And not only do they talk about serious issues that matter, they do things about the things that matter. They go to the police, they contact the news, and they make legitimate good change in the world. And it is so refreshing to
Huge.
see content
Huge
creators
W.
as down to earth, as humble, and as how kind they were. I greatly appreciated my time on that podcast, and I wanted everybody in my community to know that. And I hope you guys will go watch that episode when it comes out on Saturday.
Man,
It was fucking awesome.
man. Stop making me like these guys more. I haven't even like met most of them. Why are you doing this to me? The only person who I've met who was ever on the Unsub podcast doesn't make content anymore. So maybe I shouldn't be the rest of them. But
Awesome. And if by some miracle of God, this is maybe one of the unsubscribed podcast members watching this video, welcome to the channel, and I appreciate you watching that. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye, guys.
That was great. That was so wonderful. That's the kind of drama. That's the kind of drama that I like. None of that horrible black pill drama. Give me people just absolutely gassing each other up. That's what I want. That's the kind of drama I like. You can meet angry cops. Just commit a crime in Buffalo, New York. I think I'm gonna avoid the crimes against minors, just like in general, because that's what angry cop is going for. So no crimes against minors, chat. We're gonna hard pass on that one. Matt is still OG though. Matt was super cool in person. Also, he was shorter than I thought he would be. He wasn't short. He wasn't short. I don't know. For some reason in my head, he was just a really tall guy. Yeah, but I guess he might just be surrounded by shorter people. How tall is he? Matt Carricker, height. Yeah, he's the same height as me. He's 6 feet tall. So he's the same height as me. And I don't know. He wasn't short. I just expected him to be taller than me for some reason. So I guess when I say he was shorter than I thought he was going to be, he was the same height as me, and I just expected him to be taller than me. But he was super cool. He was super cool. Obviously I only had a short conversation, with him, because there were a lot of people for him to converse with. But it was a good conversation, easy conversation. Count's got the 6 foot tallness. Apparently. I'm 6 feet tall, but I've never like felt tall. Like it sounds weird. Like the only time I feel tall is like when I'm traveling. Like I don't know why. I think it's just like where I like am located, like where I grew up and where I live. Like just everyone's tall for just like no reason at all. But whenever I'm traveling, then I feel tall. But if I'm just like doing stuff like around where I live, I don't feel tall. It's weird. I don't know what happened. All the 6 foot plus people live around me specifically, making me feel not tall. I'm not particularly tall. I think average height's only like 5'11". For dudes. I think average dude height is 5'11". Average male height. 5'9"? No, that's wrong. There's no way. No, I refuse to believe the average height is 5'9". Average male is 5'10". It's true. Believe it. And I don't believe it, chat. I don't believe it. Average height by state, 2025. Just 5'10" across the board. Yeah. Yeah, just 5'10" across the board. Some states are 5'10" and 3/4. That's 5'11". Why are they measured in centimeters? Who out here made a chart for average height in the United States and put it in centimeters? Apparently Texas is one of the shorter states. No, that makes sense, actually. There's a lot of like Hispanic people in Texas. And Hispanic people are generally not as tall. American charts in centimeters? Yeah, it's gross. Some call me maybe a Californian. California, also short state. We got these what are these states called? I want to call these states a Midwest because they're like in the middle of the West. But the Midwest is over here on the East. Because someone did that. I don't know what these states are called. It's tall people there. Flyovers. These are some of the most beautiful states right here. Like Montana, Wyoming. The west side of the Dakotas. North Idaho, very beautiful. There's a lot of desert down here. I guess desert. Desert can be beautiful. It's just a different kind of beautiful. Midwestern versus Midwest. We got the Midwest states over here and the Midwestern states over here. Midwest and Midwest V2. Midwest 2.0. Yeah, so that's just Midwest 2. I'm going to refer to that as Midwest 2 now. They definitely did better with the second one. Oh. I just slapped my knuckles on my desk. Right on the edge. This is definitely a clickbait's guns and gadget video. This is definitely a clickbait video, but it's gonna work on me, chat. It's working. It's gonna work on me. I'm getting clickbaited right now. Case takes NFA to Supreme Court. For sure, clickbait. and you guys can't hear it for some reason. This will be better. This will be better.
Short-barreled rifles. You probably have one, or you at least want one. But thanks to a law from 1934, owning one without jumping through federal hoops could land you behind bars for a decade and hit you with a $250,000 fine for each infraction. That could stop now, because the National Rifle Association, the Institute of Legislative Action, the NRA-ILA,
Yo, the NRA
has just petitioned
the NRA is actually
United
doing
States
things.
Supreme Court to nuke this unconstitutional mess once and for all.
Well, bad pause screen for him. Yo, the NRA is actually doing things again? Yo? Is the NRA going to step up and be a powerhouse again? It's been so long. It's been so long. The NRA's got washed up. Maybe they're going to start doing things again.
Yes, the Supreme Court just let us down with the assault weapon ban Snope case and the magazine ban Ocean State Tactical case, but the NRA-ILA is keeping the pressure on them, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. The NRA-ILA is doing much better than it was when it was run by a different group. Hey everybody, my name is Jared, and I am here on the channel Guns and Gadgets every day. This is your premier source for Second Amendment news.
Oh my God, he's got so many QR codes.
Rights, and I know you do. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon and share this one far and wide. About 60% of my viewers aren't subscribed, and if you all subscribed, I would get closer to that million subscriber goal here on YouTube and prove to the man that the Second Amendment news really matters here on this platform. Because
older folk watch him. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. When there's a QR code in a video and I'm watching it on my phone, that makes me unreasonably angry. I hate it. I hate it so much. If it's on my computer, then I can pull up my phone and scan it.
Happening here in this case, Rush v. United States, could be the most important challenge to the National Firearms Act in decades. Huge. Before I dive in, I want to thank Blackout Coffee for sponsoring the video.
Another QR code.
If you're tired of weak-ass brews and even weaker politicians, fuel your fight for freedom with a bold roast made by patriots for patriots.
QR
Check
code
us
counter.
out at blackoutcoffee.com.
Like 3 or 4 now.
And take advantage of our hand-picked dad's collection and save some money for Father's Day if you use the code on the screen, Best Dad. It's not going to last long, so jump on it. All right, guys. Yesterday afternoon,
Father's Day's coming
the
up,
NRA-ILA officially filed a petition for certiorari with the United States Supreme Court. Translation, if you don't know the legal speak, they're asking the Supreme Court to hear a constitutional challenge to the NFA's restrictions on short-barreled rifles. That's a rifle with a barrel less than 16 inches. Could be 15.9 inches. And that skosh gets you a decade in federal prison and a $250,000 fine.
I mean, has anyone been prosecuted for having a barrel that is 0.1 inches too short? Has that happened? I know that people have been prosecuted for 14.5 barrels, and that's only 1.5 inches. I'm sure we could find a case. Maybe. 0.1 inches is definitely on the frivolous side, though. I feel like if there was a 0.1 inches, that one would have gone through the courts. I could be wrong, though.
Stupid. But the case, like I said, is Rush v. U.S., and it's got the potential to flip the tables on one of the most abusive gun laws in the books. Here's what's at stake. The National Firearms Act of 1934 treats these rifles as if they're some kind of mobster's tool from a gangster movie. I've said several times when referencing the NFA that this law was passed in response to Al Capone and the gangsters in Chicago. Now,
Yeah.
the second you own one of
20 is
these without
organized
jumping
crime.
through ATF red tape, paying an extra tax, and registering it so that they know who has what and where you live, well then of course you're treated like a felon because you chose not to fall under tyranny. Now, I know there's ATF agents that watch this video, so, take that as you will.
Not the BATFA.
That's 10 years, guys. 10 years. $250,000. And of course, you forfeit the gun, and you'll never be able to have your Second Amendment in the eyes of the federal system ever again. But the problem is this. There is no historical tradition of regulating
I'm just saying, if my guns ever get confiscated for some frivolous reason, because I'm not out here breaking the laws, and I can never get them back, then someone at least better field them. I better see some news article about some agent out with a Taurus carbine, and it's not just sitting in some locker somewhere rusting.
short-barreled rifles in any way like this. None. And under the Supreme Court's own rulings in Bruen and Heller, that means that the law is on very shaky ground. Doug Hamlin, the NRA's executive vice president and the CEO, the chief executive officer, laid it out perfectly. He said, the Second Amendment guarantees the right of Americans to own commonly used firearms, including short-barreled rifles, without government interference. And Doug's right. The government has zero constitutional authority, zero, to impose taxes or registration schemes on something that is in common use. Zero.
Since when has the government cared about that, though? Let's be honest. There's already effectively sin taxes on firearms production and sales. Common use is not the test. Common use is one of the tests. Common use is one of the tests that the Supreme Court put forward. I don't think it's the strongest argument for it, but it is one of the arguments. No, it's not. Common use is not one of the tests. Yeah, in common use was one of the tests. That was DC v. Heller made the in common use test.
The NRA's petition makes the case that these restrictions fail the Bruen test. That test says, as you should know, that if a firearm is in common use today and there's no historical precedent
Oh, was
for
it Bruen?
regulating it, then any
Was it Bruen, not Heller? No. Nah. It's possible. It's too many Supreme Court cases.
modern law burdening it is likely unconstitutional. And they didn't say that it starts in 1934. It goes back to when the Second Amendment was adopted. Now, the petition also highlights a major issue.
Oh, no, wait, hold on. No, Bruen was the historical whatever the verbiage they use. doesn't make sense historically in terms of the Second Amendment. Historical text and tradition. There you go. That's the wording I was looking for.
Confusion.
Oh, hold on.
Among the lower courts. One judge upholds a magazine ban, another one strikes them down. One court says AR-15s are protected.
It was just a comment on the law against carrying dangerous and unusual weapons in such a manner to cause fear. I don't know. I'm honest. I have not read the Heller ruling, so I don't know that one. I don't know about that one. I just know that a lot of people who are much smarter than myself attorneys and stuff. So like the armed attorneys, Tom Grieve, they all have like law degrees and they talk about Heller and in common use and stuff. So I'll be honest, I've not fact checked it myself though.
Another one says they're not. It's complete chaos, and that's when the Supreme Court is supposed to step in, when there's issues between the circuits. And the longer that this goes on, the more the Second Amendment gets weakened by activist judges making it up as they go. As the petition says, the uncertainty throughout the lower courts undermines the court's precedents, diminishes the Second Amendment, and deprives citizens of their ability to vindicate their constitutional rights. Couldn't have said it any better myself. So let's break down what we're really talking about here. A short-barreled rifle, or an SBR, is literally just a rifle with a barrel under 16 inches. That's it.
It's true. Short-barreled shotguns as well, with a barrel less than 18 inches. And AOWs, which is a absolutely cudgeled together weapon classification.
There's no other difference. In every other way, it functions like any other semi-automatic rifle. Just cosmetically looks different. That's all. But under the NFA, it's arbitrarily tossed into the same category as machine guns and suppressors.
Yeah, AOW, there's some classifications that are just wild. So AOW, pistol grip firearm, any other. The classifications are weird. Everyone being stupid saying it is common so it can't be banned when that law had nothing to do with owning and only restricted the much more narrow can't be carried in a manner to cause fear. I don't know. Maybe I have to actually go and read the actual Supreme Court ruling, which would be awful, by the way. I don't know what it actually says in there. But I would think that even if that is what it says, that logic would carry over legally from carrying to owning, because, well, in order to carry, you have to own it, and vice versa. So I don't know. I don't know the exact wordings of that.
And hopefully not for long. And you have to pay a $200 tax. You get fingerprinted, wait months or even longer than a year to get registered like a...
Okay, let's be honest. The waiting months or a year is not how things have been for a while. The NFA wait times have been significantly shortened. So now it's like weeks to months, not many months to year, which still, in my opinion, is too long. But it's a bit disingenuous to say you're going to be waiting a year for your NFA item now.
Criminal just to own one legally. So they're scary and terrible unless you pay the government extra money. And that's not public safety, that's bureaucracy. That's infringement. That's tyranny. This case could crack open the door to finally dismantling parts of the NFA. Let me be blunt. It's about frickin' time. Law-abiding Americans are sick and tired of being punished for owning a piece of metal that's a half-inch too short. We've already seen massive momentum in the courts since Bruen. Pistol brace bans are on thin ice and are going to be destroyed. Magazine limits are getting challenged left and right. Assault weapon bans are being smacked down in some spots, but the Supreme...
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. They're printing more of them faster than they can be overturned. Dude yapping so hard. Yeah, he's really capitalizing on getting that viewer time for sure. That example would only possibly allow banning the carrying of dangerous unusual, not banning outright unusual weapons with Bruin's test. I think you should be able to carry unusual weapons. Boberg's unusual. I want to carry it. I don't actually want to carry it. That is not a practical gun. You can say everything he has so far in like a minute tops. Yeah, but he's got to get his viewership time for the YouTube algorithm. He does have 44,000 views in 14 hours. So I'm sitting here taking notes, chat. I'm sitting here taking notes. Open carry these days, especially in Baton Rouge, is no-no. With that attitude. People are giving up ground by suggesting ownership of dangerous and unusual weapons can be banned. I think that the whole concept of dangerous and unusual is a flawed concept for firearms. Because dangerous, yes, firearms are inherently dangerous. This is just a fact. But then, so if we can agree that firearms are dangerous, and they are, that's why they're so effective. It's the whole point of machinery. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are inherently dangerous. Like a car is inherently dangerous, or literally like any power tool, inherently dangerous. But then when you get into unusual, then like this is the most usual gun here, probably, aside from the grips. Like this, very unusual. Very unusual. Should it be banned? No. You're missing the carrying in such a manner to cause terror? Wait. You're not allowed to do anything in such a manner as to cause terror. Like, if you make terroristic threats, then you're not allowed to speak in such a manner that causes terror. That's not really a specific, like, gun thing. you're just not allowed to go around like instilling fear in people. For some people, that's just carrying it all. Well, those people also are offended by the word retard. So I don't have to care what they think. At least in Texas. I don't know. It could be. It could be that I just don't understand because I am in Texas and I do open carry and like I don't have any issues with it. That's why everyone is so stupid for latching onto the test that is not an established test. And as you point out, it would be horrible if it was that test. So even if you completely disregard that specific test, like there are other like very valid like tests and arguments that can be used, even if in their like petition to the Supreme Court or whatever that's going on here, even if they disregard that one specific one, there's many other arguments that can be made. Please practice conceal carry. Take care of your surroundings. I conceal carry sometimes, and I open carry sometimes. So like if I'm going, I don't know, to somewhere where open carry is banned and conceal carry is fine, then I'll conceal carry. Like if I'm going onto a college campus, right? I'm not going to be open carrying because that's a conceal carry only place. Open carry is just so much more comfortable. And I do have an active retention holster, which, so if someone does try to be a super stupid idiot, try to snatch it, then they're going to have quite a bit harder time. Always open carry in banks. Do not do that. Don't do that. Lets the tellers know you're a good guy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Traveler, open carry is legal in my state, but you rarely see it. Most of the stores do not allow it and will ban you for life. I don't know. I've never had an issue with it. I think, and I don't think everyone should do this. Before I say this real quick, I don't think everyone should do this, but I do think that the more people open carry, like the more like law-abiding people open carry just like normally, the more normalized society would be with it. Like the more normal and accepting society would be. And so while I'm in Texas, and Texas is generally more okay with that. Like I've never been kicked out of somewhere because I'm open carrying. Like I've never even, no, I have people make comments. I've never had anyone make a negative comment about my open carry. Like I have had people be like, hey, like I saw your open carry. Like what kind of gun is that? Like I also like guns. And you get like a nice conversation. But like I've never had any negative interactions about my open carry. And I mean, that might be some Texas privilege talking, if I'm being honest. But I don't, it's fine. It's fine with me.
Supreme Court says we'll eventually get to it in the next term or two. And now finally, short-barreled rifles could be next. Now, if SCOTUS grants cert in Rush v. US, they'll have the chance to finally say what we all know to be true, that the National Firearms Act is an outdated, unconstitutional relic of the past that has no business existing in a post-Bruin world. It's dead. It should be dead. Folks, this is it. This is why we vote for the right people who actually do the right thing. There's a couple of them.
What? We vote for NRA?
This is why we fight.
Huh?
You know, the NRA for all its issues lately.
Hold on. Wait. Wait, when did the NRA election happen? What? I must have missed something. I missed the NRA election, chat. Bro, you're gonna sleep. You feel old and angry and tired. I think you could have just said old. The rest of that was just kind of repetitive. The rest of that just comes with being old. You joke, but yes, we do. NRA leadership is elected by its members. I'm not an NRA member. Well, I guess NRA members voted well then. Good job. Round of applause.
I have to give credit where credit is due. They've been putting in their legal weight behind challenges that could liberate millions of Americans from unjust federal persecution. And I will applaud them for righting the ship. Righting the ship.
Righting what?
They're doing the right thing as of late. You know,
I still know what he was trying to say. Righting a ship?
Persecution. And I will applaud them for righting the ship. Righting the ship.
I will applaud them for righting the ship? What does that mean?
They're doing the right thing as of late. You know.
Oh, writing. Oh, I was stuck on writing, like with a W, like calligraphy. Righting the ship. Got it.
I was always one to criticize them, and I will be one to give them credit where credit is due. But they're not the only ones who need to act.
As in recovering a fallen organization. Yeah, righting the ship. I understand that one. I was just stuck on writing. Like I'm gonna write a memo. And it didn't make any sense.
We need every single gun owner to be loud right now. I've been telling you for a couple of weeks to call your senators and to call the clowns on the Senate Finance Committee. Keep calling your representatives in the House. Keep calling your local legislators.
Yeah, but that's for like hearing protection, like the Senate and all that. The NRA is not petitioning the Senate, they're petitioning the Supreme Court. Not that you shouldn't call your senators and your representatives and stuff, but that's different. That's a different thing. We're getting a little distracted, a little off track here.
Talk about this Rush versus United States case. You know, after you make a phone call, hit them up on Twitter, and then email your elected officials. Hit them on Facebook. They still use that a lot because they're an older generation. And some groups like FPC, GOA, Second Amendment Foundation, and yes, NRA, ILA, when they file solid cases like this one, talk about it. Because make no mistake, if we win this,
Done talks about it.
NFA falls apart. And
live
with
on
it,
stream.
The entire anti-gun playbook. A big thanks again.
Okay, well, I'm not going to be that positive about it. If by some absolute miracle, because it would be nothing short of a miracle, if this went through and went perfectly, it would just be the short barrels. There'd still be machine guns and everything else in there. Hopefully suppressors are removed in the whatever budget omnibus bill is going on there. Machine guns. Machine guns. Remove them from the NFA.
Again, to Blackout Coffee for sponsoring today's video.
Oh, sponsors. Okay. Another sponsor segment at the end as well. Got to capitalize on that one. Too much ads. Chat, if ever I do like 3 minutes of ads in a 9-minute video, have an intervention for me. Have an intervention for me, chat. Oh, did I pick up on the mic? My wrist just popped. I stretched and my wrist popped. I'm an old man. I'm an old man, chat. All right, chat. I'll be honest. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to talk about. What do we talk about, chat? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna start doing, oh, you know, chat? I'm gonna start doing like the 45-minute Remy streams. Gotta be here earlier, you're just gonna miss the whole thing. I'm not gonna do that. I don't know about that. Grimmy streams. Grimmy streams for like 10 hours at a time. Grimmy streams. She also does like video games and stuff. Carrot, hello, welcome. It's been a while. Oh, there is chat. There's a video game that's coming out. I might have to play on stream. Hold on. This game, chat. They came out with a sequel to a game. It was the first game I ever streamed as a VTuber. Code Vein. They have a Code Vein 2 coming out, chat. They got Waifu Souls 2. Oh, they got zombies now. The first Code Vein was, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. It was so fun. That was somewhat terrifying. Wait, why is it muted again? What am I doing? How long has it been? Why? Why is Why is my audio keep muting? Oh. We get Code Vein 2 before GTA 6. We get Code Vein 2 before Elder Scrolls. The character creator
Time.
in Code Vein was so
For
good.
some, it heals.
Which obviously is the most important part of a game.
For others, it wounds. And for our world, it promises only oblivion. Our hopes lost long ago. But you have the power to change all of this.
You have the power. Average anime, you have the power to change this. Ooh.
If time were a weapon to wield.
That's very interesting character design.
Could you undo
How
the
you gonna have
sins of
jiggle
ruin?
physics? Chat, how you gonna have jiggle physics if there's nothing there to jiggle? It's just empty. I have concerns.
You'll find how to save us all.
Flat board. It's not even flat. It's like concave. Literally concave. It's a hole. There's a hole in her chest. Oh. Oh. That looks pretty vampire-y. Which I guess, yeah, Code Vein was pretty vampire-y. But that, the whole wings and everything, that was cool. Coming 2026. Wish list now. That looks cool. We might have to play a game in 2026, chat. In 2026, we have to play a game. Gecko, hello. Welcome. Have you seen Stranger Than Heaven? No. Stranger Than Heaven. Yakuza style. It's also a song by Zitten. Sega. Are you trying to trick me into playing games? Oh, is this another game that was also announced in that big whatever gaming event that every streamer ever was watching yesterday?
Peggy 18.
I pray
Oof.
with a song in my heart.
I I like the vibe. Game. X is a gamer. Unfollowing. Unfollowing. I said we had to play one game in 2026. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Gecko, finally gonna dedicate some time to beating Elden Ring. Good luck. Someday I may finish Elden Ring. Is this a detective game? What's going on here? Oh, he just tanked that Molotov. Oh. I don't think that guy was okay.
Mako. Daito. Daito.
A Jap then, huh?
Don't I look like one?
You're not? So, what are you then?
Shana. 俺が知りてえや。
What? This game is the "Babe, please, you're not a detective" from a noir film meme. Yes, it is. I do really like the whole 40s vibe. It's definitely the it's I'm so confused by that trailer. I don't know what's going on. Developed by the same studio who made the Yakuza series. Detective, that is supposed to be a pimp? I have no idea. I have no idea what is going on there. Code Vein, though. We're gonna have to play Anime Souls. Gonna have to play Anime Souls. These streets aren't what they used to be. I don't know, the over the top, like forced edgy detective stuff. It's pretty funny. I don't know if I'm gonna play that one. I definitely will watch other people play that for sure. Don't know if there's any more info on the character or if it's a sequel. First time I heard of or saw anything was the other day. The setting, yeah, the setting looks very nice. Setting is cool. The vibe, it seems cool, like the whole like feeling of the game, even though I don't know what's happening. Still no VTM playthrough, but all on board for Code Vein. Weeb, VTM. What's VTM? V the M. What's VTM? Chat, I don't do good with abbreviations. Vampire the Masquerade. I looked it up, chat. I looked it up. Like an old man. I'm gonna need a snub-nosed Colt and trench coat to play this in. I'm gonna need a snub-nose Japanese contract Smith & Wesson Model 3 and a trench coat. That's what I'm gonna need. Oh, chat. Maybe I'll play. Oh, what is it? I'll play Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. That's everyone's favorite installment in the series, and it's the one in my Steam library. Don't forget the detective hat. I mean, obviously, you gotta have the detective hat. If I had the 40s detective trench coat, I definitely would rock that. I would wear that for like a week every year when it was cold. Not a ROM. Prom or something. Detectives aren't made of money. It's true. Detectives, nah. But detectives always have the little snub-nosed Colt. It's like a staple. You gotta play the old one with mods. The old one. Like from the PlayStation 1 or something. When did the first Vampire Masquerade come out? 91. Well, that's older. Why is streamer mode not on? Streamer mode is supposed to enable automatically as soon as I hit go live. And it hasn't been working for some reason, and I don't approve of it. Discord update broke it. Every time I update Discord, it gets worse. The government's ruining my Discord. There's government in my Discord, chat. Kevin didn't hold on. It has Forgotten Weapons not done a Kevin video in the past? I swear I've seen a Kevin Forgotten Weapons video before. A day ago. How do I know about Kevin if not for Forgotten Weapons? Well, someone quickly tell Not the Batfa. He's no longer alone in the Discord. We got more government in there. We got more government in there. Ads! We got ads. We got ads. We'll wait to learn about Kevin till ads are over. I do. Hold on. I have to check. Now I have to check Is Kevin available in the gun gacha? No, Kevin's not available in the gun gachapon. Well, we fixed that. Kevin's now available to be pulled in the gun gacha. Not the back foot. That's why you're not in the Discord. Too many feds. No other reason for sure. Discord does have a reputation for absolutely not doing anything ever. If there were feds in Discord, then there wouldn't be so many Discords about people doing terrible things. All right, Kevin.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm
Kevin looks a lot like an old Keltec, just in form factor.
Ian McCollum, and I'm here today in Vlachim in the Czech Republic, visiting S&B, Cellular and Belat, one of the biggest ammo manufacturers in the world. And this being the Czech Republic, I thought this would be a good opportunity to bring you a totally modern little concealed carry pocket pistol made, well, designed, manufactured, and marketed here in the Czech Republic. Although it's a gun you can actually sort of get in the US as well. It is the Kevin.
Many recent court cases say otherwise. Possibly. Yeah. I do know that there are feds in Discord. They're just not doing what I want them to. As much as I want them to.
A name whose origin I, to be honest, have not been able to figure out. It's a very odd name for a pistol. But in the Czech Republic, this is one of the few countries in Europe where it's reasonably feasible for civilians to get concealed carry permits. And so there is a market for concealed carry pistols in this country. And
Kevin M. Kevin's got a last name. It starts with an M.
This pistol was first unveiled in 2007 at the IWA show. It was developed by a gunsmith by the name of Antonín Zendl, who's fairly well known in the Czech Republic, especially for doing accessory parts for the VZ58 rifles. If you look on the internet, it'll say that development began in the 1990s, which is possible, but only if it had about a 10-year development track. And yeah, we know for sure it was introduced in 2007, so that's the date that I'm going with. It was then subsequently introduced in 2008 in the United States. Now, it's a little tiny pocket pistol. It is too small to meet US import regulations, and so the way it was sold in the US is that
to remove import regulations.
A license was sold to Magnum Research to manufacture this. Now, Magnum Research is the company behind the Desert Eagle, and they have continued on they've expanded their product line, but they call everything a something Eagle or Desert Eagle. So this
Kevin
is
Eagle.
The Micro Desert Eagle in the United States, but it's actually a Czech design from here, available here in two different calibers, 380 ACP, like in the US, and 9mm Makarov. So let me show you up close, because there's a kind of unique, it's not a gas delay system, but it's a unique system here to make the recoil of 9 Makarov in this little tiny pocket pistol a bit more bearable. The two versions here are essentially identical, except that the Kevin M is chambered for 9 Makarov.
There's a Kevin and a Kevin M.
Regular Kevin is chambered for 380 auto. These, of course, are made here, so they're marked made in Czech Republic. Serial numbers, the M serial numbers are for the Makarov caliber guns. They are manufactured
the serial number was a 994. It was a little, it had motion blur. I just thought they were all zeros. like 00994. I thought it was just 00004.
Were manufactured near Brno in the town of Vsetin by a company called Zbrojovka Vsetin, the name of which I'm probably almost butchering, but we'll go with it. And they are identical, so I'm just going to take apart the one of them here. We have a 6-round magazine. They do make extended magazines that hold 8 rounds, and again, this is the same for both calibers. Functionally, this is double action only, like so. It does have sights.
That is a very small, thin hammer.
But it is pretty specifically advertised as being useful up to about 15 meters or about 50 feet. It is a close range pistol. It's not meant to be like an IPSC competition gun. Anyway, to disassemble this,
No,
I just
that
pull
attitude.
the barrel back, pull the slide back until this notch lines up with a lug in the barrel, right about there. Then I can rotate the barrel up. So this sort of shades of like Colt 1903 there. Let's pull the slide off. There are two recoil springs that sit along the side of the frame.
Does this pop out the side?
These are little tiny diameter recoil springs, 2 of them with their guide rods.
Seems like it might be a bit of a pain to put back together.
Our double action hammer there. There are 2 polymer buffers here that act as, well, impact buffers for the slide. The neat element, though, is here in the barrel. So let me see if I can get the barrel out. There we go. Right in front of the chamber, there are just 2 straight up angled gas holes drilled all the way through the barrel. So as soon as you fire, the moment the bullet only has to go a few millimeters out of the case, and then gas vents directly out of those ports. Here's our 380, and you can see the 2 ports right there, and they're just going to vent right into the slide here. And that's going to do a couple.
Does this thing just make like little puff of smoke coming out every time you shoot it? I need a video of this shooting.
Things. In theory, it's going to push the slide forward. I don't know how much that's actually going to happen as opposed to the gas just sort of spraying out. Like there's nothing to retain it, to push it specifically against the slide. So you might get a little bit of effectiveness there, but probably more importantly, it's going to reduce chamber pressure. It's going to reduce muzzle velocity, which is going to reduce the recoil here. So that's the idea that Zendel came up with. There is one other kind of neat feature here that I haven't seen around before. So let me take this grip panel off and show you.
I wonder what happens if you plug up those holes.
This is not exactly like John Browning level innovation, but the magazine catch spring is actually held in place by the grip panel screw. So that screw right there is going to lock in this flat spring.
Interesting.
Which hooks into our magazine catch right there. So rather than have a more complicated sort of thing with a little tiny coil spring built into the mag release,
it is a cool little design.
Right there inside the grips. The rest of this is pretty typical stuff. That's just our double action trigger right there. All right, so these retail for about the equivalent of $500 here in the Czech Republic. There are, aside from the 2 different calibers,
they're still selling
there are
these?
a couple of different like finish grades, different colors, and that sort of thing. The company that manufactured them essentially seems to have gone out of business in 2013. They apparently had a big contract. A large part of their business came from actually manufacturing 30mm cannon ammunition for the Czech military, and they lost that contract to someone else outside of the Czech Republic.
Oof.
And it appears that that essentially shut down the whole company.
Lost to outsourcing.
Anyway, I thought this was interesting to take a look at, and I'm really curious to know how well this recoil mechanism works. So we're going to take it out on the range and find out.
Right.
Yes, this is what I wanted.
I'm going to start with the Kevin M. That's
I want to know if it makes
9mm
little puffs
Makarov.
out the top of the
I have a
barrel.
paper target at all of 10 feet. And so I ought to be able to at least hit it.
It does. It does make puffs out the top of the barrel.
Well, that's seems
The
pretty
sights
effective.
do look very usable.
it's actually really not nearly as bad as I was expecting from 9 Makarov out of a tiny, tiny little lightweight pistol like this. Remarkable. Now, since I'm visiting here at
I mean, you basically have a compensated barrel, except instead of the compensator being at the end, it's back by the chamber.
I am, of course, using S&B ammo on these. This is pretty standard, 95 grain 9 Mac, 92 grain 380 or 9 Browning. So it's interesting, if you look at this, they had cleaned this gun here at S&B quite nicely before I got to it, and you can see some discoloration and marks from the gas venting out. And in fact, in the shooting footage, you can even see a lot of gas coming out the top of the gun, and that's from these 2 vents.
Did he say how much the velocity drop is? He did not. That would be a very interesting thing to test.
It's definitely a handful, but it's not as much of a handful. It's like, it's not actually physically painful. It's a sharp recoil, of course, but really not bad. Now, this is the 380 version, and I figured it'd be interesting to try that back to back. 380 is less powerful. Let's see if it actually feels easier to shoot.
I kind of want one of these. What did he say that the Magnum Research one was called? Something about eagles.
You know, weirdly, that almost actually hurts more. That's got more kick to it than the 9 Mac, which is unexpected. Shoots just as well. These
it's not called the
have
Kevin Eagle, which is very disappointing.
Of course, I'm also at all of 10 feet. But honestly, as a pocket gun, long double action trigger for safety, pretty much smooth, relatively snag-free gun. I get a little bit of spatter
Kegel
back
is not
in my
called the
face
Kegel.
from debris venting out and then back off the front of the slide, or at least it feels like I do. But not bad. Nice job, Kevin. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.
Maybe pretty similar to the cylinder gap drop and velocity? Probably. So actually, we have a gun on the table that has a mechanism in it to lower the velocity of the cartridge that's shooting. The VP70. So the VP70, you can zoom in. It is clear. So the VP70, if we look down the bore, hold on. I'm going to disassemble this real quick, because that'll make this easier to show, because then we can get light on the other side. This does disassemble just like most fixed barrel guns. So if you look down this, the rifling grooves in this barrel are so deep that gas goes around the bullet down the barrel. Like the VP70 was designed so that you're venting pressure out around the bullet as it is shooting. And I don't know how much velocity difference there is between this and something of a comparable barrel length. That's some aggressive rifling. It is very aggressive rifling. That's because it was designed to vent gas around the projectile as it's shooting. Which is very, very strange and interesting. Let's put this back together. Very simple gun. So I should, well, I don't have anything that tests velocity. There's a name for those little tools that I don't know because I'm stupid. The bullet velocity testers, chat. Not the batch, but one of the printed barrel designs, currently in beta, uses that trick to reduce pressure and avoid exploding. I mean, it's a neat trick. It's very cool. Chronograph, that's the one. That's the one I was thinking of. I've almost bought a chronograph a few times. I should buy one, honestly. I should buy a chronograph. They're not like way terribly expensive. I think there's some like, okay, well, I looked up chronograph and I just got watches. What's the new one? What's the new one? There's some like new fancy chronograph that you just like put in front of you and you just like shoot next to it and it measures it. That one's probably more expensive. Yeah, this one. That is more expensive. That one. Look at that guy. You just like set it next to you and it does magic. Is this the Garmin? Yeah, Garmin. Garmin number 0100261810. Radar ones seem all of the rage. Yeah, this is the one that I see YouTubers use. Although not that one, just the regular ones. Way cheaper. Way cheaper. Although you do also run the risk of shooting that if you like pull real hard. There's a handful of them now. Yeah, the Garmin one is the one that I see people using. I think you saw one for 300-ish the other day. Probably. Radar chronograph. There's one for $3.99. I'm just looking on Google Shopping. Okay, apparently there's one for $119, but I definitely don't trust that one. Even the cheapest radar chronograph is way more expensive than a cheap one that you shoot the bullet through. Because you can get the one that you shoot through for like $100, which is very, very much cheaper. Holy jeez, I have many Glocks. Do I want a 47? I don't know, you might have to do some soul searching. Look inside yourself. Do you really want a Glock 47? And why? Why do you want a Glock 47? I want a Glock 46. Unfortunately, probably the only way to get a Glock 46 is through crime, which unfortunately I'm not willing to do. Well, who? What? I just got I just got a gifted sub on Twitch. I just got a gifted sub to someone on Twitch who's not streaming right now. So someone just gifted me a sub to Remy. The 35% off subs is working? I guess so. That's crazy. To Remy. I just got gifted a Remy sub. She's not even streaming. Well, chat, I guess. See, how long is the 35% off subs for the next week? Until 6/14? Alright, chat. The next week, I'm going to be lurking in literally every streamer who I watch even a little bit, 100% of the time, to maximize the possibility of getting all the gift subs. Mao, I have 3 new gift subs to streams I don't even know or watch. And whenever I get a gift sub to a stream that I don't know, I'll just drop them a follow. I mean, if someone paid, like, you can buy me following your channel for a sub. Holy geez, strongly considering 34 Gen 5 for 570. Our Glock 34 is still 570? I guess so. The Glock 17s were dipping below 500 there for a little bit. Buttery Bear Paws. What are your thoughts on Bainting Gons? I think it's cringe and I will never do it. Unless it's like something real strange. But I think other people can do it. Other people I have seen make some decent looking painted guns. It is definitely not for me though. If I'm gonna color a gun, it's probably going to be Cerakote. And probably like some bright color. Like pink. Probably a P90. Unless AK. Those can be paint over parkerization. Hey, you can paint your AK with mustard. Cerakote is for safe queens? Wrong. Wrong. This, not a safe queen. Cerakote. Bright colors. Cerakote is still just paint? Yeah, but it doesn't start looking like you dragged it through the rocks after a few hundred rounds. Baked paint. Stronger. It is stronger. Says the guy that barely shoots. You know what? I shoot more than a lot of people. I shoot more than a lot of people. Barely uses pieces. Chat, it's not that bad. I just have so many, it's hard to give them all enough love. buttery. It'd be cool to do a Chappie all yellow build on an M4. You take that back. Yellow is like the worst color ever. You do a range video and share with chat. What, I have shared range videos with chat. A couple range times ago, I posted a video on Twitter of range time. It was like one of my most successful tweets ever. It was just me shooting super speedy Glock with funk music in the background. That was a while ago now, though. Here you go, chat. This thing got over 3,000 views. And it's like a low quality video with some funk music. It's a very short video. Oh, the sound's muted again. You couldn't even hear the funk music. Testing of the FRT. Yeah. That was testing that was my first test of the Pembleton active reset trigger. I do take that out again. Since I shot this last, I did get a bit of a lighter recoil spring and also a different mag. Because when I took that out last time, the only mag that I had was the Torque mag, Glock mag, which did not help. You already modified your 17L? No. That's the 17L. The other one, I guess, is also a 17L pattern. It is longer than the 17L because it has a threaded barrel. And the only Glock count apparently will get. I have said that as soon as they import the Glock 46, I will buy one. But yeah, of the currently available Glocks, 17L is the only one that I really care about. Aren't they all kind of the same? Glocks? Yes. That's why I don't really care about them. Long slide matches vampire aesthetic. There was a stream, oh, it's like a week ago, where I just like pulled out all the super long pistols. Because I do have quite an affinity for very long pistols. So long pistols. Long pistols, much better than small pistols. I have enough long pistols that like they literally didn't fit all on the desk at the same time. I eventually at some point I need a long 1911. The longest 1911. Chat, who makes the longest 1911? Hopefully the Kirsche. Hopefully the Kirsche 1911 has like an 8-inch barrel. Hardball. Is the AMT hardball still the longest? Speaking of Kirsch, she's currently watching Social Riot over ICE activity. Kirsche is streaming now at midnight? That's not when she streams. That's not how this works at all. Kirsche 1911 better take its gamer subs magnesium. I definitely am gonna need to buy the Kirsche 1911 whenever it gets out. She's on because of rights. Are people currently being criminals in SoCal? Oh my.
Your pussy drives through the intersection.
There's so much trash on the road. We're not just gonna like sit here and watch someone else's stream, but
Probably.
is that a burnt out car in the intersection?
Like a Mexican song, yeah. We need some mariachi music.
I like this song.
That's crazy.
Comfiest stream. Yeah, riots are fucking comfy, dude. I love watching these on the ground streamers do this shit from my house. Hopefully they stay safe.
That's not a sentence I expected to hear. Riots are comfy? Yes. I could go to sleep to riots. What? Normal day in LA. Fair enough. Yes, the very comfiest of riots. Streamer watching streamers. That's not the worst thing we've done. I've got a YouTube video that's me reacting to a reaction of a reaction of someone's content. It's like 3 tiers deep in the reactionception. White Noise Riot Edition. I mean, I guess if you pull up enough Riot live streams, I guess so. Hopefully, ICE riots, protests are fine. I'm a big fan of a protest. Not a big fan of a riot. As soon as people start getting destructive, I lose interest. Not that I lose, I pay attention. They lose my support. Any support they could have had as soon as they start destroying stuff. Mao, honestly, the riots during 2020 to 2021 were so frequent near my security job at the time, it was weird to not hear it when I was off work. That's crazy. California is a war zone. Buttery. Didn't even know something was going on down there. Crazy. That is crazy. And I guess I did hear that there was like some like business owner that like abducted and trapped a bunch of like ICE agents like in his business. I don't know how that ended. But I heard that happened. Hope that guy enjoys the rest of his life in prison. Gecko, they burned your local Target. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Target. They probably didn't even rebuild it. Just write it off as a loss. No. I was surprised writers didn't hit the business block I was assigned to at the time. Of course they didn't. They knew you were there guarding it. They knew you were the security there. You scared them off. They could sense your aura from blocks away. They're like, Mao's over there. Gotta avoid that block. It was 2 blocks from the city's police department headquarters. That's pretty close. Good thing you were there to hold them off. You're over there just like emitting aura. Like you're an anime villain. Honestly, Target may have been thankful with how many businesses have pulled out of at least parts of California. But they're thankful that they at least get to write it off. They get the insurance and they get to write off the building. And at some point, I may go to California for a TwitchCon or something. I don't know though. California's rough. Comic-Con? I mean, if I want to go to just like a convention, there's lots of conventions happen in Texas. Only visit, don't stay. The only reason I would stay in California is if I was literally incapable of leaving. California. Yeah. Yeah. However, it's hilarious. California now has to approve out-of-state residents for a CCW. How much does that cost? If I go to TwitchCon in California, how much does it cost to get a CCW for a week? I feel like spending $1,000, 12. Okay, not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it. I think, how much did my Texas carry license cost? I think it cost like $50 or something. Texas LTC cost $40. The Texas LTC cost $40. They dropped it by 100 a while back. They did. Now, you can't CCW anywhere that offers alcohol, next to a school, in the same parking lot of a hospital, or anywhere within 300 feet of a school. You can't let them know you're concealed carrying in any of those places. This is not legal advice. Chat, you should always follow the law. Wherever you are, always follow the law and don't carry guns where you're not supposed to. But if you were carrying well, your CCW would be valid for any self-defense stuff. What if I didn't carry a gun and had to self-defend myself with, like, a piece of rebar? If it's not in a prohibited zone. So you're telling me if I was carrying and accidentally wandered into a prohibited zone while there was an incident taking place, I would have to exit the prohibited zone and then stop it from outside of the prohibited zone. It's like, oh no, there's some horrible event happening at a bar. Quick, let me go outside and stand outside and self-defense shoot back into the building. Stop him that way. Oh, that'd be so stupid. That'd be so awful. I would never want that to happen. But if it did, it would be legendary. Batons are now legal in California as a year and a half. A baton? A baton is just a stick. How are you going to outlaw sticks? Megalon, me wandering into prohibited zones on my errands list. Yeah, every now and then. Like I have in the past, like accidentally, like wandered into like a government building or something. It's perhaps illegally disputable in court, carrying a gun. And nothing bad happened. Operator Grizz.
Operator Grizz underscore VT just traded with 11 viewers.
Hello, welcome. How was stream? How were you doing? Welcome. Not the bad, but silly. California is not concerned with the feasibility of laws. Yeah, it's true. Edge Meme Lords. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Grizz, just watched a ton of gun content and MRE history on YouTube. And the Khyber Pass Mountains illegal gun manufacturing. Yo, Khyber, I would love to visit Khyber Pass. Like, if I could visit Khyber Pass and not risk death or disfigurement, I definitely would. That would be awesome. I want to visit all the like weird little like janky gunsmiths. Grizz, I want to buy some copied Khyber Pass Norinco 84 556 AK megs because they're 150 for real ones. Nice. Yeah, well, maybe it's good that I can't go to Khyber Pass without risking serious bodily harm. Because then I might be a little too tempted to try and bring something back. So maybe it's all for the best. Yeah. All for the best. Grizz, you wouldn't either. Taliban out there? Yeah, if only I were a little bit more brown. If I were a little bit more brown, I could probably get away with it. Unfortunately. Well. Nice little armory you got. Thank you. Thank you. If I never introduced myself. I'm so bad at this streaming thing. Hello Raiders. Hi, I'm the X-Count. VTuber. Obviously, we do gun kind of content. So if you like guns, gun history, guns, hands cam kind of stuff, it's probably the right spot for you. Hello. Grizz, we can get you a burqa. You need a little more of a burqa. I'm gonna glow through a burqa with how white I am. Grizz, you gotta get sleep. You're gonna clean your Norinco 213 Tokarev tomorrow. Ooh. Ooh. I have a Type 54 Tokarev. It is very neat. I got it because of Sword Art Online. Because I am a weeb. I can be your little Muslim woman. I'm gonna be the tallest Muslim woman you've ever seen. Hide me in the factory. And I have seen people have done little like documentary-ish videos about going to the Khyber Pass little gun smith, probably not legal things. This is one of the Khyber Pass guns you want, not the Batfa. Glock 17 in 7.62 by 25. That sounds fun. No sound? Oh, hold on, we gotta narrate it. Taking a look at the wacky Glock 15 in 30 bore 7.62 by 25 from the Khyber Boys and Arms Manufacturing. Okay. Double action. It is very generous to call this a Glock.
Safe lock.
Very generous. Metal mag. Yo, I want the metal Glock branded mag. Where do I get the OEM Glock metal mag? See, if I went to the Khyber Pass, I would probably like try to bring something like this back with me and get in trouble. That's probably what would happen. Like, not even a gun. I would just try to bring back one of these stupid magazines and get in trouble. Very Glock-esque until you see the elongated extractor, low beaver tail, and hammer. I mean, I guess if you squint really hard. If you squint really hard. Uncanny looking, still kind of hot. It's got a rail, but no horizontal cuts in the rail. It just has the little, like, side clampy part. It looks like somebody crossed a Smith & Wesson and a Glock, is what it looks like. Like, this is some, like, bastard child of a Smith & Wesson and a Glock. For some reason, they also steal and copy Turkish shotguns. I mean, if Turkey can make them and sell them for $120, then they can probably do it even cheaper. Oh, double action, single action?
Okay.
Interesting disassembly.
Button. And this will go out. Be carefully when you pull out this parts, so be careful of this spring. This is the lock spring. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Man, I wanna go to Khyber Pass. Have some guy tell me not to lose some random spring, like while I'm eating super sketchy street food. Like, that sounds perfect. That sounds ideal vacation. They salvage shit plates and steel and make pistols out of it. Recycling. Saving the planet, really. Stolen recycling? Well, it probably wasn't being used. They even use damaged, worn out CNC machines? That's unsurprising. Even kids filing stuff down? Man. If I was a child laborer, I would at least want a cool gunsmithing job. Like, come on. Come on, if I'm a kid and I'm given the options for a child laborer and they're like, okay, you've got 3 options. You can go work in the mines, you can go make iPhones, or you can be a child gunsmith. I'd be like, yeah. Yo, let me be the gunsmith. Over there, it's the biggest male job. Or go fight. Nah, I'll just make the guns. This looks a little sketchy on the reassembly. Well, the whole thing kind of looks sketchy. The reassembly looks particularly sketchy.
Okay. The upper bolt and this will be same. So push up.
Oh, that was cool. That was cool. That was neat. Is what we watched for the inside tour. Inside. Oh, I've seen this guy. I might have seen this exact video.
The legal trade of guns and arms. This whole area, as I can see the signage, is like
yeah, I've watched
guns,
this video.
guns, guns.
I've watched this video before. He's kind of dumb, but decent video. Other one's better. Okay, other one's better. I've already seen this one. It's been a while. Vice Guide to Travel. 13 years ago. Okay, 13 years ago. So I guess this is before Vice really fell off.
We're here in Lahore, Pakistan, in the old city.
Yeah, see,
I'm here visiting family. It's been about
like if I looked like this guy, then for sure I would visit Khyber Pass. I don't look like that guy though.
3 years since I was in the country, and in that time, the country has gone through insane amounts of change. It's really full of deep contradictions. On the one hand, you've got this progressive set of the population. They're organizing fashion weeks, and they're partying.
Make you the manliest female Muslim
liberal
woman.
media explosion happening in this country.
Yeah, there's nothing that says Muslim woman like a 6 foot tall, slightly broad shouldered person. Who talks to men. Perfect Muslim woman. Armed Muslim woman.
And they're operating uncensored by the government.
Based.
On the other side, you've got the Taliban. They've been infiltrating the entire country, attacking police stations and government buildings in a recent wave of violence. It's now escalated into a full-fledged battle with the Pakistani army fighting the Taliban in the tribal areas near the Afghan border. We traveled to this area 3 years ago when we wanted to visit a massive illegal arms market.
Peshawar. Grizz, gotta head to bed. But have fun. Khyber Pass rabbit hole is interesting to watch content. Oh, it is. It is. There's always just crazy, wildly cursed stuff. Largest ammo manufacturer. I'll stick with my, like, Croatian ammo. They also make fake PPU and fake. Why fake PPU? If you're gonna fake ammo, at least fake one of the good ones. Like, why are you faking PPU? Same fake box and all. Sells better on the market. Serbian PPU. Nah, I'm gonna be faking Federal.
Believed to be a source of weapons for the Taliban. It's been called the most dangerous place in the world and is now basically closed to outsiders and journalists. So I asked my mom to call her buddy.
Oh, he's got the inside hook. He's got his mom. Yo, I don't think my mom's gonna be able to get me into the most dangerous spot in the world. Nice lady, but I don't think she's got the inside track there.
He was the chief secretary of the Northwest Frontier Province of Pakistan. And with his help, we got our own private militia, and they made sure we wouldn't get kidnapped or killed.
His own private militia? What? This guy's living the dream. Chat, if I can get my own private militia, would you watch the IRL stream of it? Would you watch the IRL stream with me and my own private militia? (2006)
If everybody come to my side, I will definitely kill him.
Name, who's our host?
Get your finger off the trigger. What are you doing? Just pointing the gun at this guy. Nadim Afridi. Mao, can you join the private militia? Probably help you leave Cali. If I was going to have a private militia somewhere, it'd probably be Africa. I don't know. A million followers, chat. I'll do the Africa private militia stream. X count the Snow African warlord.
Is part of the Afridi tribe. He was born and raised there and now works as a protocol officer for the government. He put it together for us. He got us through, dealt with a huge amount of bureaucracy, and got the militia to cover us as we went through the market.
That's awesome. Oh, chat, I have... You may not believe this, chat, but, like, I talk to people in real life. I know people from Africa. It's not, like, a 0% chance of happening. It's pretty close, though. It's pretty close, though.
Is this loaded?
Yes, this is loaded, but they locked.
They locked it. Where's the lock?
This is the gate
Safety
of Khyber
on.
Pass, and from here the Khyber Pass is started.
It's the most historic pass in the history of the world. The Aryans came through, the Mongols came through, the British Army came through and got destroyed.
Special place.
Special place for special people.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yo, that's awesome. Man, why aren't there any, like, American dances where you've got swords and guns? Like, we're over here and we've got, like, line dancing and two-step. Like, can't line dance while waving a sword around. Because you got people right next to you. I guess, well, they're like circle dancing. You gotta have a little more personal space.
This is the house of Mr. Ayoub Afridi. He was in jail on the narcotics offense in USA.
Free
now
my man.
He is acquitted and now he is living here freely.
Oh, they already freed my man.
The heroin trade.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, maybe not free my man. Take him back. Put him back in there. Invented the heroin trade.
The trade, basically the idea.
The concept.
The concept.
Of what?
Of heroin.
The concept of heroin. What a guy. Why do they have this guy's his like? I don't want to call him his guide. I'm gonna call him his guide though. Why do they have his guide subtitled? He speaks English very well, but they've got subtitles for him.
Don't lose my hat, man. It's my father's hat.
I will try my best.
It's a very special Italian
I will try
hat.
my best.
Oh no! They lost his father's hat and it went down a cliff.
After Khyber went into Dara, that's where the arms market is.
So when you were explaining to the officials what we wanted to do, the old man started laughing when you said we wanted to shoot guns and maybe buy some guns.
Yeah.
I think he liked that idea.
He liked
that idea.
He was laughed.
Yeah,
he was laughed.
He was
Dream
laughing.
vacation. Dream vacation, chat. Going to another country, buying and shooting guns. Man. That'd be beautiful.
People of this area believe many sons and a lot of guns. This is the philosophy of the Dara peoples.
Yo, am I actually a Dada peoples? Am I actually a Dada peoples? I need a wife though, so I can have sons. But I've got the many guns part down. I'm halfway there, chat. Keep my hat. I'll try my best. Hat immediately blows away. It's a good philosophy right there. I can get on board with that.
This is definitely the largest illegal arms market in the world. There's another one in Pakistan, it's not quite as big. And the story is that during the 80s, the Soviet-Afghan war was happening. All the scrap metal from all the broken down tanks and guns that they would find, they would bring it back over and then replicate firearms.
First they will show you how the gun is making, how the bullet is making. Then they show you the shooting.
Oh. Oh. Assembling ammo with hammers. Yeah, Chad, just hammer in the primer, it'll be okay. Oh my goodness.
Area.
So in the whole town, they make 1,000 guns a day here, and they've been doing that for 70 years. That's a lot of guns. So this guy is making 9mm pistols.
Is that a double stack 9mm Tokarev? Yo, you sign me up.
With his bare hands. The guy who's making it is deaf. It's a Mauser, but it says made as China by Norinco.
Made as China by Norinco. Man, China's out here stamping made in other countries. But in Pakistan, they're stamping made in China on stuff. Crazy.
This is the cartridge. He has no tongue.
1,050 rupees price.
He has no tongue? Why does he have no tongue? Wait, hold on. I was on board for this for a little bit, but now he's got no tongue.
3,050 rupees.
$36. I'd buy that for $36.
We're hearing lots of guns being shot around us, and they're just checking to make sure that the guns work. And they're doing it with live ammo. What I'm wondering is, they shoot it up in the air. Where do the bullets fall?
This one is one of the
Hopefully,
bigger popular shop in this gun
between the
market.
houses.
It's time to go gun shopping. Here's an Italian machine.
Where do I get this drip, chat? Where do I where do I get this outfit? I'd rock that outfit for sure. Italian rifle, $150.
This is
honestly though, why does this look better than the Turkish clones? Chat. What is Turkey doing? These guys are making this out of like these scrapped tanks. Legit spec. It's not legit, but it looks better than the Turkish ones.
This is like a Kalashnikov? Kalakov.
Kalakov, not Kalashnikov, a Kalakov. Amphibious, I was saying this to Grizz. I want an M65 like that, but they don't sell them in twink sizes. Are you twink sized? Just gotta hit the gym. It'd be okay.
It says
is this a bootleg Tapco Mini 14. What? That's crazy.
It's a Muzzleite.
Oh, Muzzleite. Not Tapco. A different cringe chassis company.
I think you could do some damage to this.
Wait. Point that in the camera again.
I think you could do...
It's crooked. It's it's not symmetrical. Amphibious. If I hit the gym any more than I already am, I'll be built like a dwarf. Based and dwarf build. Do it. Tapco wishes they were as cool as Muzzleite. I don't know about that one.
Do some damage to this.
Oh, there's so much cool stuff. Lugers, lots of AKs. I want it. Give it. Give it to me now. Lee still sells their hammer press reloading kit. Classic Lee loader. Literal hammer.
Know for yourself how much fun it is to reload. The kit includes everything you need to begin loading one cartridge with the addition of a dead blow hammer. The classic Lee loader is capable of reloading.
I mean, if you're looking for a budget reloading setup, you're probably not going to beat it. Chat, should I get the 308 hammer reloading set? We can reload ammo on stream. I think that would have to be a Kick exclusive stream. I don't think Twitch is okay with reloading. Ooh, that susses me out a little bit. I don't know about that one.
The original Khyber rifle. So in 1857, the British gave the Afghanis 10,000 of these. I don't even know where to cock this thing. Where do you put the bullet in?
The front.
A musket. A musket, right? You put it in. Nazi gun.
German.
Hammer not included. It's okay. I have hammers.
German. World War II. Nazi gun. Pure evil in my hand.
But is it bootleg?
So, now we are going to the shooting area. Yes, let's go.
Bullet. So, yeah. So we were wondering where they fall, and they don't fall far from us.
Oh my goodness. They had that hit the ground near them. That's crazy. The Vice operator fits in well. Back when Vice was based and had operators instead of journalists. I don't want to call this guy a journalist. He's a Vice operator.
I'm going to keep it.
Okay, yes, keep it.
You got to be kidding. This is the shooting area? We just had lunch downstairs.
Yes.
All right, let's do this. I'm shooting the enemies in the hills.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Just shooting off the roof, just in the middle of the city, off into the hills. I mean, I guess, like, if you've got, it'll probably get further than the edge of the city. Probably. Right? He's not holding it right. He's got a firm grip on that dong. He knows what he's doing with that dong for sure.
I've never done this before. It's a Kalashnikov, and I'm kind of nervous. I see my target. I got him. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. That's super sketchy and definitely not the safe way to do things. But it'd be a lot of fun. The laugh. The laugh.
Yeah.
Yo, I'd drop a Pakistan Zinzabad on that one. That's awesome.
America thought that by sending in troops to Afghanistan and the Pakistani army into the tribal areas, they'd be able to squash the Taliban uprising. They were wrong. The people we saw live in caves. They work in insane conditions, they have no tongues, and they make guns with their bare hands.
We're done. We succeeded in our mission. We came to Dara and we bought guns. We shot them.
Okay, the living conditions are pretty bad. But the unregulated, unenforced illegal guns, pretty cool.
How it all happens. If you come here, you got to make sure you look the part, and you got to have a guy like Naeem to make it all happen.
Shukriya.
And one last thing, Pakistan Zindabad. 3 years ago, when we filmed in Dara, after we left, the government basically shut it down. They shut down outsiders and journalists because the Pakistani army was in there fighting the Taliban. And right now, between the Pakistani army and the US troops on the border, the Taliban inside the tribal areas, it's essentially a powder keg that's ready to blow. A military expert that we know, he described the situation as the wickedest problem you could possibly imagine. Tika.
I mean, it's sad, a sad war-torn area of the world. The guns are pretty cool, though. The guns are very cool. Like the rest of everything, not so much. Alright, chat, it is past 1 in the morning. And I have a very full day tomorrow. So, I do think it is about time. It's about that time of day where we gotta end stream. That was a cool video. I very much like videos, content about guns in other countries. It's very fascinating to me. All right, chat. It is time though. It's time to raid out. It's time to raid out. We are going to raid. Hold on. Let me be sure she's still going.
It's true and real.
Oh yeah, she's still going. We're gonna raid the Foxu because my keyboard disconnected. Because I almost never get the opportunity to raid the Foxu. Because, well, she's not streaming at 1 to 2 in the morning. So we're going to raid Kirsha. She is currently watching / commentating the riots. So, until next time, I will see you all next time. And thank you everyone for stopping by, hanging out today. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you again, Grizz, for the raid. We have raid messages. Thank you. Thank you, Majestic Potato. Grab your raid message. Grab your raid message. You've got both subscriber and non-subscriber raid messages. You can grab whichever one you want, but if you grab the subscriber one, you will look slightly foolish. And yeah, thank you for stopping by. I'll be back tomorrow. I was going to say tomorrow's going to be an early stream, but I've got some stuff to do tomorrow afternoon. So, tomorrow, normal stream time. I will see you all next time.